You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.
Welcome to the Hot Options Report, your premier source for insight into the fast-moving options market. Each day, we'll track down the products that are dominating the options chains and impacting your trading account, from Nvidia to VIX and everything in between. If it's lighting up the options tape, then you'll find it on the Hot Options Report.
All right, everybody, that music means we are back. Time to rock out once again with another episode of the Hot Options Report. Hope your week is off to a great start. My name, of course, Mark Longo from theoptionsinsider.com, as well as from the network upon which all of you folks are binging these days. A couple of reminders, if you're not binging on the network, what are you doing? Make sure you're subscribed to the full network wherever you get your favorite podcast programs. And, of course, if you want to join us for pro Q&As, options oddities, vol death matches, giveaways, all sorts of fun, theoptionsinsider.com/pro is the place to go. And speaking of places to go, if you're listening to this show, you're intrigued by a little bit of options flow, a little bit of analysis, a little bit of unusual activity, all of that fun sprinkled together. If you want to crunch the numbers for yourselves, check it out. The Hot Options Report.com is the place to go to kick the tires and light the fires. You literally can't forget the URL. It is the name of the show, the Hot Options Report.com. Dare I say it, better than what a lot of your brokers are bringing to the table on the options data side, and it's only going to get better. This is pretty much just the beta, listeners, so get in there while the getting is good. The Hot Options Report.com to learn more as we learn what's lighting it up in the world of single name equity options today. Was it a banger? Was it an explosive day out there in the world of single name equity options? The answer was no. We'll cut right to the chase. Cost you only 356,000 contracts to break into the top 10 today. That gets you to our old pal Robinhood. Robinhood popping today, though, up about $4.50 or 3.4%, closing 136.43 on the back of some news of some expansion in Indonesia and the hot option out there in Hood today. 19, almost 20,000 of the 145 calls expiring not this week on the 12th, but next week on the 19th. So buying a little bit of time. 145, is that a wild strike? We'll have to wait and see to find out, listeners. You don't have to wait and see, though. What's number 9? Coming at number 9 today, it's our old pal, the Amazonians. Selling off a wee bit, selling off about 2 2/3, a little over 1%, closing 226.89 today, listeners, putting up 426,000 contracts for the number 9 spot today, listeners, and the hot option out there in the Amazonians today, none other than 25,000 of the 237.5 calls expiring, when else, this Friday. Average price for these, about 72 cents, listeners. So can Amazon turn it around by the end of the week? Maybe spark a little bit of a rally? We shall see, listeners, as we keep on rolling to the number 8 spot. This is the name that's been in the news quite a bit, in the news yet again today. It's Warner Brothers Discovery, ticker symbol WBD, closing today back to the upside. You don't see this too often after the deal is purportedly done, but there is some consternation there. There are some new players trying to vie for the throne. So Warner Brothers continuing to move to the upside, closing today right around 27.25, up about $1.15 or about almost 4.5%, putting up 444,000 contracts. A lot of fours in WBD today. The hot option out there today, listeners, 28,000 of the Jan 28 calls. This is an interesting strike and month. Average price for these, 60 cents. So if you're saying to yourself, I want to lock in a little bit of upside above the 28 strike all the way through Jan expiration, 60 cents is what it's going to cost you. Up to you if you think that's a good do or just wasted money. But we'll keep an eye, like a lot of people, on what's going on with WBD as we keep on rolling to number 7. It's our old pal Alphabet Class A frequent offender of late ever since they got tapped by the old Warren Buffett stick. They've been off to the races, Giving some of that back today, off 7 1/3 or about 2.3%, closing 313.72 out there. But don't worry, they're still up 8% over the past month, even with today's sell-off. So they've been on a good run, putting up 464,000 contracts. For the number 7 spot today, the hot option in Alphabet Class A, nearly 25,000. Of the 320s, average price for these, about $2.91. So if you think Alphabet can turn it around, maybe you like these. Otherwise, you're saying sold to you on these bad boys as we keep on rolling to number 6. It's SoFi. They sold a bunch of stock to you recently, listeners. Hence this sell-off in SoFi stock, closing today, $27.61, off about 17 cents or about 2/3%. Of course, SoFi announcing a massive $1.5 billion stock sale. That's a lot of dilution. It's going to weigh on the stock, and that's exactly what we've seen out there over the last few sessions. Putting up 537,000 contracts for the number 6 spot, the hot option in SoFi land today. 39, nearly 40,000 of the D's 30s. This is a strike they've been vacillating around for a while. Average price for these, 15 cents. So you might think it's a crazy strike, but on the flip side, it's only 15 cents if you want to take a flyer through the end of the week, listeners. Perhaps you're intrigued. Perhaps you think that's crazy. Either way, we'll keep an eye on them, listeners, as we keep on rolling up to the number 5 position. It is the fruit company, a.k.a. Apple. Closing today, $277.89, off 89 cents today. So a rare day in the red, if ever so slightly, for the fruit company. Putting up a pretty light 571,000 contracts. Nonetheless, on a day like today, that gets you all the way up to number 5. The hot option in Apple land today, 45,000 of the 280 calls going out on Friday. Average price for these, $1.70. So if you think Apple can turn it around a little bit and make some gains by the end of the week, maybe you like those calls, listeners, as we keep on rolling to number 4. Good old Intel selling off today, off about $1.11, closing $40.30, putting up 598,000 contracts for the number 4 spot. The hot option in Intel land today, 15, almost 16,000 of the D's 42s. Average price for these, about 63 cents. So same deal here. If you think maybe there's a turnaround in the offing, maybe you like these. Otherwise, you're selling the heck out of those as we keep on rolling up to number 3, listeners. The other half of the WBD equation. It's good old Netflix. Selling off again today, $96.82 is where it closed, off $3.42. Putting up nearly 1 million contracts, 980,000 contracts today. The hot option in the Widowmaker today, what used to be the Widowmaker anyway, 33, almost 34,000 of the D's par calls, the 100 calls. Average price for these, 84 cents. So once again, we were talking about these on the option block, listeners. Might be a subject of a fun question of the week out there. D's pars, 84 cents. Can we get back above the 100 strike, or is all this madness going to keep sucking Netflix down? We shall see as we keep on rolling. What was the number 2 spot out there today? Yeah, it's our old pal Tesla. Tesla selling off 15.42 or about 3.4%, closing 439.58 out there today, putting up nearly 1.7 million contracts for the number 2 spot, the hot option out there today, 68,000 of the 440 calls. Average price for these, $9.57. Those are pretty much at the money calls. So, you know, Tesla can vacillate around quite a bit. Maybe you think that's cheap. If you want to scoop those bad boys up, maybe you think that's way overdone, in which case you want to sell those. Of course, might have to grit your teeth a little bit. Our chat saying they missed the Tesla par puts, the old Tesla 100 put days. Yeah, it's been a while since we talked about those. These days, the par puts are the 400 strike puts. But a lot of action in Tesla. We'll keep an eye on it as we keep on rolling. To the top of our list this week, it's Nvidia, 2.56 million contracts. So taking the top spot yet again on a pretty light day out there. Rallying today, 185.57 is where it went out, up about 316 or about 1.75%. Good for, again, 2.56 million contracts. And the hot option on a light day in Nvidia, 228,000 of the 190 calls. Average price for these about $1.68. So once again, if you think this rally can continue throughout the rest of the week, maybe you like a little bit of a nibble on the 190s. Either way, that is going to do it for us on the Hot Options Report for today. Thanks for joining us for everything on the network. If you missed anything, remember, make sure you're subscribed to the full network. Back again tomorrow with our usual array of content until we're back again after the closing bell, another episode of the Hot Options Report. Oh, yeah. And stay safe out there, everybody.
You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.